10 times Ricky Gervais. Had enough of woke reporters. You have to see this. Ricky Gervais doesn't play around. Some reporters think they can handle him. But just wait. They find out real quick that Ricky's razor-sharp wit cuts through every phony question they throw his way. From tense interviews to downright awkward moments, Ricky turns every exchange into pure gold. And trust me, you'll be laughing the whole way through.
No, they said keep it quick, just go and sit down.
You play, in the UK version of The Office, play the boss.
You say the UK version.
Yeah.
I call it the original.
Ricky turns every moment into a masterclass in comedy gold. First up, his interview with Joy Behar. Right from the start, Ricky flips the whole thing on its head, breaking down what it really means to be offended in comedy. He doesn't just answer her questions, he schools her on how jokes work, leaving everyone watching both laughing and thinking at the same time.
You go on the Golden Globes, a lot of time you are politically incorrect and hilarious, of course.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
So this is,
well,
yeah,
well, that's the thing about offence, isn't it? When people say they're offended, it's that just because you're offended, it doesn't mean you're right. You know, it's offence is about feelings, and feelings are personal. Some people are offended by equality. So what? You know, so you can't second guess people. If you try and please everyone, you'll please no one.
With just one line, Ricky turned a touchy topic into a full-blown philosophical mic drop. Joy Behar was left nodding, probably rethinking her own question. But oh no, she wasn't finished yet. Next, she tried to throw in a playful jab, teasing him about being a germaphobe. And then she actually started touching him. Big mistake, because Ricky's reaction? Absolutely priceless.
No, they said keep it quick, just go and sit down.
Oh, okay, so we can touch you?
Yeah, of course.
Because you gave hugs the last time you were here.
I feel like a strippogram. Who's got $1?
And here's where it gets wild. Just moments after Joy and her co-host touched him without his permission, she actually had the nerve to call him sexist. Like, seriously? The hypocrisy couldn't be louder if it tried.
You know, we haven't seen you really around since the Golden Globes, where you were
low profile.
Yeah, well, they attacked you, but they said that you were mean and rude, and you were surprised at that. You were surprised. Let me just read one of the things they thought was...
I'm being rude. I'm surprised they attacked me for it, though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Let me read one thing they thought was mean, and we'll decide whether it was mean or not, okay? Referring to Sex and the City 2, you said, I was sure the Golden Globe would go to the team that airbrushed that poster.
Yeah.
A little sexist.
No, it's not. Why is it sexist?
Well, because the girl is saying that the girls are older and they need to be airbrushed.
No, I think they look great at their age. Why hide it?
Oh.
I don't think that you lose your sensuality or your beauty because you hit 53. I'm saying, why are they hiding it?
Oh, I see.
Do you think that when you have to explain the joke that maybe it wasn't told, that because people didn't get it, or you think that most people got it?
I'm defending my motives, not the joke. I stand by the joke. Yeah. I don't think I have anything to apologise for, but that's not the joke. I think if you're going to criticise, you've got to understand the joke before you can.
It didn't stop there. She even went as far as accusing him of promoting masculinism just because his show featured, in his words, the 4 best comedians, who just happened to be men. Like, come on. Ricky wasn't picking sides, he was picking talent. And you could bet he didn't let that one slide. His comeback? Pure savage brilliance.
Hey, so I want to ask you about the HBO special, Talking Funny. We just saw a clip from it, right? So we got Jerry Seinfeld, Chris Rock, Louis C.K. No women comedians on that panel?
Who would you replace?
I don't know.
Replace or add?
No, because it was 4 people. Just 4 people. Yeah, so who would you take off?
I wouldn't. I would just add.
There you go.
These are his favorites. He has the right. I think that you're the right.
We don't have a male on our panel, so we're kind of guilty.
I will do it with women.
No, exactly. They're my friends, and I chose my friends. Oh, and also, men are intimidated by funny women, so we didn't want them in the room. That's a joke.
Jerry Lewis famously said, at one point that he didn't think women were funny. Do you think women are funny?
What's the difference? That's ridiculous.
It's a different sensibility.
Statistically, less women go into stand-up from what I've seen, so there's probably less to choose from. But yeah, there are loads of funny women. I've worked with loads of funny women. Of course I have. There's loads of funny women here.
After getting completely roasted, they still didn't learn their lesson. They went for one last desperate swing, this time taking things to a deeply personal level.
Right,
But he just can't sustain an hour and a half show. How many people can?
And he clearly had a bit of a problem, and I assume he's sorting out. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, yes, he is. He is sorting it out. How are you, Ricky?
I haven't come here to be insulted.
Ricky definitely didn't let that one slide. In another interview, this time with Russell Brand by his side, Ricky went head-to-head with a reporter who was clearly out of their depth. From the very first question, you could tell the interviewer wasn't ready for Ricky's quick-fire comebacks.
A lot of people are having a good deal of fun, including these two gents, Russell Brand and Ricky Gervais. Try and behave yourself, gentlemen, if you can.
Do that again and do the name.
No, I'm not doing it again. That's fine.
Like he's Russell Brand, not Ricky Gervais.
I think people can work this out. I think people can work it out. The short one and the tall one, so don't worry about that. Now, as far as you're concerned, I don't know, I haven't worked that out yet. As far as you're concerned...
That's his attack. That's his first attack on you, Ricky. What's he say about me?
At one point, you could see the host starting to panic, completely flustered, fumbling for a way out. So what does he do? He suddenly switches the topic to climate change, and Ricky, of course, couldn't resist.
Okay, should we talk about something else now?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, climate change, all right? Okay. Are you here tonight just to enjoy the content?
I'm not here tonight.
To do the job?
I'm not here tonight. He is. This is live. This is pre-recorded.
Right, okay. Well, this is all going horribly wrong.
You asked us.
I know. I'm regretting it now. I'm regretting it now.
No, it's a pleasure to be here, and everyone here is an absolute professional.
Except him, he's a shambles. Are you drunk?
Not yet. Now, climate change then. You know, is it something that you're interested in, or are you just here for the booze?
He's not holding that microphone.
Perched.
I should tell you what his hand's doing.
All right, no, never mind. Look, it's holding this, so don't worry about that. Don't believe everything you hear from this man. So I'll ask you, climate change. Is it something you think seriously about?
You're the pitiful one.
Right.
Imagine that. Someone would rather talk to you than someone else. Go on.
Quite a mark on your character that he's turned to me. Yeah, of course I care about climate change. Now, as individuals, we can do an awful lot. You, for example, you're going to have to change the way you're living your lifestyle. Don't look all cynical.
And how do you know how I live my lifestyle?
No, I love the
It's
idiot.
important. He don't care about nothing.
Killing turtles for a laugh.
He does do that.
But of course, the interviewer just didn't get it. The sarcasm, the humor, totally lost on him. He kept clinging to that same climate change question, like it was his lifeline, completely missing the joke. So finally, Ricky gave him what he wanted.
Right, okay, but seriously, guys.
Okay, no, seriously.
Do you really think that this sort of concept makes any difference whatsoever? There's a message out there, climate change. You guys are here having a good time. Everyone else is in the audience. Do you think it's
It does make a difference because a lot of the acts are flown in by private jet. So that's adding to the emissions no end.
Next up, Stephen Colbert. He thought he could corner Ricky with some deep philosophical questions about atheism. But Ricky? Oh, he didn't just answer. He completely flipped the script.
Talking about hell before, about this tweet about you going to hell.
Yeah.
And I know that you're an atheist, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. People have been debating. That's the devil waiting for you in hell, by the way. Do you want to debate the existence of God? Okay. So, Ricky Gervais, why is there something instead of nothing?
Colbert kicked things off with one of those classic, deep-sounding questions. Why is there something instead of nothing? Most people would overthink it, maybe stumble trying to sound smart, but not Ricky. Instead of falling into that trap, he dropped one simple line that completely reframed the whole conversation. Clever, funny, and totally unexpected.
But surely the big question is not why, but how. Well, why is irrelevant.
Okay, fine. How is there something? Because you think of God as the prime mover. How is there anything?
Oh, I don't. This is a
Is there a prime mover? Is there a demiurge that started everything?
As the conversation went on, Colbert tried to double down, pushing harder with his theological arguments, hoping to trap Ricky in a corner. But come on, this is Ricky Gervais we're talking about.
You say, there's a God. I say, can you prove that? You say no. I say, I don't believe you then. So, you believe in one God, I assume?
In three persons, but go ahead.
Okay, so you believe, okay. So, but there are about 3,000 to choose from that have been, you know, people have been.
I've done some reading, yeah.
Okay, so basically, you believe in, you deny one less God than I do. You don't believe in 2,999 gods, and I don't believe in just one more.
With that one punchline, Ricky exposed the arbitrariness of religious beliefs, leaving Colbert with absolutely no room to fight back. And just when you think it couldn't get any better, enter Piers Morgan. During a debate about blind people owning guns, Ricky's sharp sarcasm once again stole the spotlight.
You love America, I love America.
Yeah.
Let's start from that position.
I said next they'll be saying blind people shouldn't drive cars, which is the first thing I thought of, because I think people have got to see the difference. They were talking about it as an equality issue. Aren't blind people allowed to defend
Well,
themselves?
their constitutional right
Yeah.
would be damaged if, and they gave an example of, you know, if they were fully sighted and used a gun, just because they lost their sight, why should they lose the constitutional right to continue having a gun?
Yeah, well, it's a difficult one, but the short answer is because they can't see what they're shooting. That's what I'd say.
But no matter how clear or convincing Ricky's points were, Piers just wouldn't let it go. He kept circling back, trying to prove a point that simply wasn't landing. And then, boom, that moment happened.
I'm a US resident, so I'm technically also covered by the Constitution. That's why I'm allowed to criticise the Second Amendment about guns, because of the First Amendment about free speech.
But tell me you're not allowed to carry a gun.
I would not be allowed to carry a gun here in New York, but I could carry one in, you know, Dallas, or I could carry one anywhere.
Really?
I can go to Walmart in Houston and buy one. They'll be on the wall. I can't buy a Kinder egg, you know, those little eggs with little toys in, because it may choke me, so they're a health hazard. But where the Kinder egg would be sold in a British store, they instead have an AR-15 assault rifle.
Dear America, please let Piers buy a Kinder egg, but don't let him buy a gun.
And then there was that interviewer, the one who called The Office the British version. Yeah, Ricky wasn't having that. Before the guy could even finish his sentence, Ricky jumped in and set the record straight.
Yeah.
Jack, of course, you play, in the UK version of The Office, play the boss. What is the weirdest excuse that you've ever heard?
You say the UK version.
Yes.
I call it the original.
Yes, well done. You're well done. Well done. It's true. Wow, that's intense.
But even after putting the interviewer in his place, Ricky still showed class. He gave full credit to the American version of The Office, calling it a brilliant adaptation in its own right.
Most people think Steve Carell came up with it.
That's true, but you all were the original.
Yeah, and Steve Carell did an amazing job, and I think the American version is fantastic. Yeah, no, there's 7 remakes around the world, but the American was the biggest.
But you got it started.
Yeah, a long time ago, and now I've brought him back, David Brent, which is the English Michael Scott. Yeah.
Of course, not every moment was a showdown. Sometimes Ricky just liked to have fun with it. You could tell both sides were enjoying the back and forth banter. At one point, the interviewer tried to tease Ricky about Netflix, thinking he could get a quick laugh. But Ricky, always ready with that dry, mock-serious delivery, fired back with a line so funny it had everyone in the room cracking up.
With all this Netflix money, of course.
Exactly. Oh, Netflix. Oh.
If I'm an $8.99 subscriber, does that mean you work for me now?
Sort of.
Am I your boss?
You're a licensed player, aren't you? So you can tell me what you didn't like about stuff, and I can have it edited out just for you.
Thank you.
That's the service Netflix provides.
The playful vibe just kept rolling, both of them tossing friendly jabs back and forth like old pals. Ricky slipped right into a father figure role, scolding the interviewer in a joking, mock-serious tone, while the interviewer totally played along. Then things escalated in the best way possible. Ricky dropped an absurdly detailed, over-the-top description about the interviewer that had everyone bursting into laughter.
You are, it's horrible. It feels worse than it looks. Imagine that. Just think of that. So look at that, right? And then imagine it feels and smells worse than it looks.
I'm married.
And imagine what it tastes like. Christ.
Yeah, thanks. I'll show my missus that one, Ricky. Yeah, thanks, mate.
Then came another wild moment. The time Conan O'Brien's playful banter with Ricky Gervais took an unexpected turn. What started as lighthearted teasing quickly spiraled into pure, unscripted comedy chaos.
Yeah.
Nice new studio.
This is new. This is a new experience, yes.
Yeah, it's great.
Giant moon, big fake moon behind you.
Actually, the studio was easier to find than the channel on the TV. But I persevered.
Yeah, it takes a while.
I didn't know there were that many channels, to be honest.
I didn't until we came to this channel. I didn't realize, and I'll be honest with you, I sometimes forget where we are in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
We're on, what are we on here?
I have no idea. I always get stuck on the costume jewelry, and then I just...
you go through that, you keep going, you go to costume jewelry, eyebrow plucking channel, and
And then eventually you find...
Osama bin Laden's got a chat show just before yours.
It's very good.
And of course, Alan Carr couldn't keep a straight face either. He tried to crack a joke about feeling special for getting invited to Ricky's house, but Ricky wasn't letting that slide, not for a second. He hit back with a brutal punchline, so quick and so savage that Alan completely lost it, laughing, speechless, and totally defeated.
You're one of about 5 people that have been invited round my house. I'm a very sort of private person, apart from workman and postman.
Make me feel special.
Yeah.
Had Alan Carr, a postman round here? Refuse collector?
Yeah, well, at least they're useful.
At the end of the day, Ricky Gervais isn't chasing fame or money. He's just real, raw, and fearless. He says what he thinks, no filter, no fear, and that's why millions love him. So what do you think about Ricky's no-nonsense attitude? Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to like, comment where you're watching from, and subscribe for more epic moments just like this one. Till next time, stay bold and keep laughing.